Hello and welcome to SnowbizNow, small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. I am your host, Nicholas Snow. Right now I'm walking along Warm Sands Drive in the heart of Palm Springs, California, as a few gay men have been known to do. I'm very excited because I'm on my way to the Warm Sands Villas, a wonderful gay clothing optional resort known as the heart of Warm Sands, and you're about to learn why. Established in 1933, the Warm Sands Villas has a history as colorful as the city of Palm Springs. In fact, it has been host to its share of notables, including Shirley Temple, Clark Gable, and me. As we check into the hotel, let's check in with the owners, Matt Lund and Doug Wiley.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Doug.
We have 28 rooms. It was built in two parts, so we have some very old rooms that were built in the late 1930s. It still has the great character of the old Spanish mission style that everybody's, that's known worldwide. We have the missions along the coast, and this is sort of set up that way with the verandas and all the palm trees and the nice vegetation and landscaping that we've cultivated here.
The hotel is commonly referred to as the heart of Warm Sands.
It literally is the heart of Warm Sands because this hotel was built as a hotel, and it's right in the center of the Warm Sands neighborhood. We're almost the very center resort.
Nicholas, I want to introduce you to our general manager, Dan Hudson.
So you worked here since 2002?
Since April 2002. I think that's a testament to how we run our business, that our employees do stay here a long time. So the guests that come back year after year, they know who they're going to see.
Common feedback is that people enjoy it. They're a little bit surprised as soon as they come into the grounds to see the expansiveness and the lushness and so forth. But the part that keeps bringing them back are definitely the people that work here. From the owners down to the staff. I'm very lucky to work with really great people.
We're very happy to have Dan with us. Yeah. Just let me show you real quick. Palm Springs, the Warm Sands of Palm Springs, California. This picture here, and it states that the Warm Sands Inn, with its modest bungalows and small pool, was typical of the hotels of the south end of Palm Springs. And you can see the two palm trees that still exist out there. At this time, we still were a mixed resort. The women with the long dresses were a favorite of the guests. The big, hobby in Palm Springs is the preservation of all the great architecture in our community, the modernism, the old Spanish-style places. This book's full of sort of postcard images from the 50s and 60s when Palm Springs, some say that was its heyday for the movie stars that came to Palm Springs, but we still say, the best is yet to come.
The hotel offers, aside from a really what I would call a very nice extended continental breakfast and our social hour at night, which is typically refreshments and snacks, wireless internet access is included, and that's free. Normally you have to pay for that at a bigger hotel. Some of the other things that set us apart from some of the mainstream hotels or the general public hotels are the fact that the pool and hot tub have 24-hour access. We don't lock them up at 10 or 11 o'clock. The breakfast room, daily maid service or daily houseman service. The guest rooms all have been remodeled, so they have travertine stone floors. They all have king-size beds, with a few exceptions of our specialty rooms.
The old breakfast room.
So one of the nice features about this particular property is the fact that we actually have an indoor space. So while Palm Springs is pretty nice, 99% of the time, every once in a while it's nice to kind of either get out of the cold or just have some shelter from the heat. So it's an indoor space. Having the daily papers like the New York Times, the LA Times, our offering is a lot more expansive than some of the other hotels. When everybody was on the protein kick, making sure that there was peanut butter and boiled eggs that were here. So this basically not just serves as our breakfast area, but where we'll do some of our staff functions and where groups and so forth will actually use this room to do buffet servings or have meetings and things like that. And the hotel's been involved with a lot of neighborhood associations, including the Warm Sands Neighborhood Organization, where there have been several meetings here, and Doug was a very active participant. So, but the space is nice, it's homey, and it gives people a chance to mingle and talk about their day, and it also gives the chance for the staff to actually engage the guests a little bit more and help them decide what to do if it's their first time to Palm Springs, or decide sort of like if they're just going to take it easy and lay by the pool for the rest of the day. Roof deck's probably one of the would easily be another feature that sets us apart from some of the other hotels and some of the other locations.
Well, let's go see it.
Let's go take a look.
It's also popular in the evenings for some of the guests.
Because of the views.
Of course, the views. They get to also meet each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
This spot gives you a great vantage point to look at the entire property and even the surrounding area. And from what a lot of people have said about why this portion of town was probably the first to be developed, because of the views, the sheltered part, less wind, and again just a great vantage point of the mountains. And for the property itself, just to see sort of actually how expansive and private and lush it is.
We're always striving to take this great historic property that's been here for 75 years, and we're continually making improvements. As you can see, throughout here, we've re-roofed all the buildings over the last 10 years. We've also put in, we've re-stuccoed the buildings, put in new air conditioners and heating units. We're currently putting in flat screen TVs in all the rooms and deluxe beds. So we're doing a lot of improvements to keep our guests happy. You can see that we have a lot of bougainvillea, we have citrus trees, the plumeria trees, the Queen Anne palms. These two historic palm trees were donated by the Indian tribe in around 1940, when the property was first being developed. And it was owned at that time by the chief of police, Gus Kettman, here in Palm Springs for about 15 years. So he was friends with a lot of the movie stars that were coming to Palm Springs. The famous story is that Shirley Temple stayed in the room that we're on top of right now. So we call this the Shirley Temple Suite.
Great. Now we'll read to it.
Just like Shirley, there's always a little bit of...
So this is the Shirley Temple Cottage.
It is. It has a great vantage point of the property. It's also a favorite of a lot of our guests, and we've had people, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, come back to celebrate their anniversary after they got married here. So it's unique. It's kind of like having your own studio. It's got a wet bar and fireplace, and it's very cozy with the open beam ceilings. In fact, a lot of the rooms, again, aside from the staff and everything else, walk into the rooms and they feel at home right away. So it's something that we continue to try to do, is keep the rooms feeling like somebody's coming home to stay with you.
Palm Springs is a small town of about 50,000 people. We're 2 miles from the airport. So we do get some guests who come here for the winter and they stay for several months. and they never leave the place other than to walk to this neighborhood stores, restaurants and bars.
Location of the hotel is very central to getting around and seeing the core part. I think probably the first thing one of the things that we always spend some time with, especially if it's someone's first time staying in Palm Springs, are the things to do. A lot of people are just here to get a tan and go hang out and cut loose a little bit. We call this the gay Vegas of California.
Never run out of things to do in Palm Springs.
Most people come here to visit our son and get a tan.
We really love the outdoor living here. That's why people come to Palm Springs.
Even through summer and winter, we've been what most people would consider inclement weather, and we're finding that we're pretty much busy year-round. So the clientele might change a little bit, but basically because of the weather and the outdoor living piece, people are thankful to be here. In December, granted it's not 100 degrees or 80 degrees, but it's still warmer and there's no snow around, so this is a nice way to get out of town and still get outside and be active. What sets this hotel apart, and probably one of the reasons why I've been here so long, is that we have so many options in terms of our guest accommodations to fit whatever particular person's need is. The one room that we have here behind you, which is 201, is the only distinct one that has, distinct spaces where there's a living room and separate bedrooms, so that you're not feeling like you're hanging out on your bed all the time. At the same time, 202, while it's one of our smallest standard rooms, has some of the best views of the grounds in the yard. And 203 behind us has been our night manager's unit, but it's now pretty popular with groups of guys that'll travel in 3s and 4s, or a couple that'll bring a friend of theirs along, so that again, they're not all sort of crammed into the same space. Somebody has a distinct bedroom, and you still have the extra space like a sitting area and the full kitchen to be able to feel like you can share the same space without being on top of one another. The hotel was developed in stages. That these first two buildings were built in the late 30s and early 40s, and that when the chief of police bought this place sometime about that period, that he added on these two buildings. And at one point, this was the largest property to be built as a hotel in the neighborhood. But this piece is definitely the part that I think catches everybody's attention. The actual fruit trees, what we call the Orchid Tree, because we don't have another name for it, but in the springtime it's in bloom and it's really beautiful. It's just a very tranquil and peaceful setting, and as soon as people get here, it's almost like they exhale and they get to relax.
Nicholas, I wanted to show you the plumeria tree we have. It's as big as the ones that they grow in Hawaii. Very fragrant flowers. These are what they make the leis out of in Hawaii. But this is typical of our landscaping here. We take a lot of pride in making this very tropical, and yet you're in a desert. We have fireplaces in some of the rooms, so when it does get cold and you want to feel romantic with whoever you're with, you can light the fireplaces. We have gas logs in those rooms, and they do heat the rooms very nicely.
This part of the property is very popular with people that are looking to sort of stay. They want a great room, or they want a really nice room, and not sort of be away from the activity. But as you can tell, the property is pretty compact, so you're never having to go too far away to get to the pool or breakfast room and so forth. The other room behind you, this room 208, which is underneath the plumeria tree, again, it's also a really expansive room. It's quiet, has the fireplace, has the flat screen, has the premium bed. So it's another favorite that we recommend. Every room is close close and convenient to getting to the rest of the property, but these are a little bit more secluded and private, so people feel like they're kind of in their own spot before they kind of rejoin the rest of the world. This is part of the older part of the building, or the first part that was added on, and we'll have several guests, as Doug had mentioned earlier, that will stay with us for several weeks or a couple of months at a time. So having a full kitchen is kind of nice to kind of economize a little bit, so you're not feeling like you have to go out all the time. There's not a room that I don't like here, but this is one of the rooms I especially like because it does feel like home. On the far side of the property and the other side, these are our larger rooms and our suites. They're large, oversized rooms with the higher cove ceilings. So again, we'll have sort of multiple people staying on those sides. They're pretty economical. They're close to the hot tub, so especially in the winter months, they don't have far to go. One of the really nice things about coming to work here every day is how green and lush and comfortable and tranquil everything is. One of the other things, in addition to the continental breakfast, our evening social hour, where typically it's snacks and refreshments, and frequently the owners will share a bottle of wine of theirs with their guests. So it's another opportunity for the guests to kind of get together and not just meet us, but meet some of the other guests that are staying here at the hotel. Do a pretty good job in terms of making recommendations about where to eat. When busy weekends are coming up, we'll always ask the guests ahead of time before their arrival if they want us to make reservations for dinner or for lunch, or sort of help secure certain things, like if it's their anniversary, make sure that flowers and champagne are in the room. But the guest room aside, it's like they're very comfortable rooms, up to date, everything works the way it's supposed to. So when you get here, you're basically ensured that you're going to have a worry-free stay. Now you pretty much can find something to do in terms of the activities calendar anytime during the year. So there are actually 3 film festivals that hit town. The most well-known and popular, the International Film Festival in January, which our local authorities like to say is the precursor to the Oscars. One of the other film festivals, in addition to the International Film Festival and the Short Film Festival, is Cinema Diverse, which is our gay film festival, usually held here in late summer, early fall. For people that love outdoor activities, there are extensive hiking trails throughout the valley. They're close in and further away, of varying difficulty levels and varying lengths. There are trails at the top of the tram, which is a 20-minute ride, and 20 degrees cooler on our hottest days, to be able to, again, see some amazing sights and get away. Pretty amazing shopping and unique shopping progressing into February and March. Modernism Week, it's a very unique time of seminars and tours of properties and homes that the general public generally does not have access to at any other time during the year, and is a snapshot, or is a look back into Palm Springs past in terms of the architecture and the design and so forth. And then of course there's the gay life. I mean, every night there's something going on different at one of the bars and restaurants. Even if a restaurant's not designated as gay, because our population hovers anywhere from 40 to 60%, depending on who you talk to, a couple is going to be as comfortable holding hands at a restaurant that's labeled as gay as they are at one of our mainstream restaurants. White Party Weekend, which still is a very, very popular event for gay men basically around the country. The weather's great, the music's great, it's a 3-day event. Coachella Music Festival, which has now been expanded to 2 weekends, and the Stagecoach Country Music Festival, which are a stone's throw away, are very, very busy times for us. Various car shows and fundraisers coming into the fall for our Gay Pride Weekend. So at the time when everybody else is cold, we're experiencing sun. The community is very open and welcoming when it comes to the gay population of both men and women, and so I think that's one of the reasons why Palm Springs still maintains its popularity amongst gay travelers. The reason that we opt to handle more reservations from a personal standpoint is because we can ensure that we get the right room for the right guest, and also to make sure that you're getting the best rate.
There are many different room types at the Warm Sands Villas. For real-time video tours of many of these rooms, and for everything else you want to know about the Warm Sands Villas, visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/warmsandsvillas, the YouTube channel at youtube.com/warmsandsvillas PS, note the PS, and also check out the website at warmsandsvillas.com.
It literally is the heart of Warm Sands, because this hotel was built as a hotel, and it's right in the center of the Warm Sands neighborhood. We're almost the very center resort.
It's late October, it's almost 90 degrees, other people are freezing. We love Palm Springs, don't we?
We sure do. It's great here.
Thanks for the tour.
Why do we have our clothes on?
Well, the people over there don't, but I can show them on camera.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.